What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over everything you need to know about Chapter 3, Season 3. We're getting very close to the end of Chapter 3, Season 2. There's about 20 days remaining as of the time I'm making this video. So the new season will be here very quickly, and the next few weeks of this season will definitely be building up to the release of Chapter 3, Season 3. We're going to be going over map changes, new items, and some collabs to expect in the next season. If you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below what you are most excited to see in Chapter 3, Season 3. For me, it has to be the map changes. This is always the thing that I'm most excited to see when a new Fortnite season comes out. So we're going to start with something that is going to be a pretty big deal because it's on the thumbnail, and I know a lot of people will see that and immediately think it's clickbait. But Darth Vader will likely be a part of the next season's Battle Pass. It has been leaked by numerous sources, like way too many for it to be wrong, that Darth Vader will be the Tier 100 skin next season. And that does sound strange or like kind of surprising, but we've had so many collab items in the battle passes recently. Like last season we had Spider-Man, this season we had Doctor Strange. There was some in Chapter 2 as well. There was an entire Marvel battle pass. So it's really not that strange to have collab items in the battle pass. So Darth Vader will likely be in next season's battle pass. And if you look at the sky right now in game, there's actually a like Empire destroyer in the sky right now, and a lot of people think that it's going to land and Darth Vader will come out of it. In addition to being a part of next season's Battle Pass, Darth Vader will likely also be an NPC on the map that you can fight and kill and probably get his mythic lightsaber. So he'll likely have his own POI as well, and that's another reason why people think he's going to come out of that ship, is that that ship will land, he'll come out of it, and then that will be a POI on the map next season, and that'll be where you can find Darth Vader and kill him to get the mythic lightsaber. So that'll be interesting to see. I know a lot of people are very excited to see Darth Vader in next season's Battle Pass. We'll get to some of the more collabs later on in the video, but now I'm just going to talk strictly about map changes. And the first map change we have to talk about is going to be to Loot Lake, the center lake in the map. There's been a waterfall leaked, as you'll see on screen now. There's a waterfall that should be coming to the map next season. No other information about this. With the current info we have, it's likely that it's something to do with Loot Lake, since a live event will most likely happen there. So there's going to be some changes to the map coming to Loot Lake, and a waterfall should be a part of that. And what also kind of like backs this up is HypeX tweeted, the last stage of the map territories that we have now is set to end on Tuesday during downtime. There's an unreleased landmark called Doomsday Machine, and it seems like it's going to be a good update. So the Doomsday device is returning. If you guys didn't follow the game in Chapter 2, the Doomsday device was used in Season 2, I believe, by Midas to like control the storm, and that's what made all the water zones and made the map flood. So the Doomsday device could be coming into play again. I don't know too much about the Fortnite storyline personally. I don't follow it that much, but it's seeming like this device could be used by either the 7 or the IO to kind of change the way things are going with the war, and that could be a part of the event, and that could end up what changes Loot Lake and gives us the waterfall. It would make sense since it previously affected the water in Chapter 2, Season 2. So those are some map changes that we currently know about. Loot Lake, something is going to happen with the waterfall there, and it's likely the Doomsday device is going to get brought back into play, and that is going to have something to do with the end of season event this season. Some other places where we can likely see map changes, I think, next season is going to be Tilted Towers for sure. After the war or whatever happened with the 7 and the IO, Tilted is in ruins right now. Several of the buildings are destroyed, and I think that it's possible Tilted Towers could be replaced by an entirely new POI, or it'll start to get rebuilt next season. But one of those two things is likely going to happen. I doubt they'll just leave Tilted destroyed like this. And the last time we had Tilted destroyed like this was when the volcano erupted at the end of Season 8, and then in Season 9 we got Neo Tilted. There was no like transition period. We just got on. Tilted went from being destroyed to being Neo Tilted in the next season. So we could end up seeing Tilted become a new POI, and that wouldn't surprise me too much. I know a lot of people were excited to see it return, but I feel like they kind of used the return of Tilted Towers in Chapter 3 to draw a lot of like people back into the game that maybe stopped paying attention to it. And just in general, Tilted Towers doesn't have the same vibe that it used to. It doesn't seem like that many people land there anymore. So I wouldn't be surprised if they change it. Another place that could change on the map, I think, is going to be Command Cavern. This was like the IO base essentially for this season, and this season was all about the 7 and the IO fighting, and the end of season event will likely be some culmination of that. So if the 7 end up like winning that battle, it could end up destroying Command Cavern, or we might see like that transform into some sort of new POI as the IO maybe leave or like bolster their defenses. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Command Cavern changed, because it's pretty influential in the storyline this season. And it is the only place where the blimp is still remaining. Every other blimp on the map has been destroyed, but Command Cavern's blimp is still there. So I think towards the end of the season, something is definitely going to happen there. I would think that this season's event is going to involve Loot Lake or Command Cavern in some way, or both potentially. Same with the Fortress. That drill, it wouldn't surprise me if that something happens with that towards the end of this season, and then that part of the map ends up changing. Personally, I would like to see more map changes. We didn't get very many map changes in between Chapter 2 Season 1 or Chapter 3 Season 1 and Season 2. There wasn't that many changes. We basically got Command Cavern, the Fortress, and then Synops. And Synops is an okay location, but it's on like an extreme edge of the map, and it's really small. Fortress didn't change the map that much, and then Command Cavern, same thing. It did kind of change, but not really. It was very similar to how it was last season when it was Command Cavern or something, or Covert Cavern. There was another name for that POI last season. I forget what it was. I didn't go there very much. But the main changes we got this season were the blimps. And you saw over the course of the season, the blimps got destroyed. And then we were basically left with the map that we had last season. And that's a lot of how they would do map changes in Chapter 2 as well. You would get some changes at the start of the season, and then those changes would basically be gone next season. And the map didn't really change or evolve that much over time. If you looked at Chapter 2 Season 1 to Chapter 2 Season 8, a lot of the same POIs were there. And if you do the same thing for Chapter 1, if you look at the Chapter 1 map in Season 1 and then Season 8, it's like a completely different game. Each season felt so much more unique to me in Chapter 1 because of how much the map changed. And I would like to see them do more map changes in Chapter 3 season to season. It just kind of is tough to rate yet because we're still very early on in the chapter, but I hope they end up doing more map changes next season than they did this season. That's just my personal thing. Map changes are my favorite part of a new Fortnite season. The next thing we're going to talk about is new items or returning items that could potentially be coming in Chapter 3. There's a new shotgun that was leaked to be similar to the Primal shotgun. This is actually very surprising because the Primal shotgun is one of the most hated weapons ever in Fortnite, and that season, Chapter 2, Season 6, is often regarded as one of the worst seasons of Fortnite by pretty much everybody I know. I personally wasn't playing then because I quit for most of Chapter 2. But this new shotgun, similar to the Primal shotgun, it has 8 bullets, it reloads 2 at a time, and it shoots 2 bullets at the same time, 2 shotgun shells. It has a faster fire rate than both the Striker and the normal pump. Each shell will do 54 damage to the body for the common, or 75 to the head, and 66 damage to the body, or 95 to the head for the legendary per shell. So the common one would hit 108 to the body for a perfect shot and 150 for a headshot, and the legendary would hit 132 to the body and 190 for a perfect shot. Obviously, with shotguns in Fortnite, you're rarely getting perfect shots. Oftentimes weapons do not end up performing as you would expect, especially the shotguns. They're notoriously inconsistent in Fortnite. But this shotgun sounds pretty annoying to deal with, and it seems like, I don't know, it just is one of those things where I don't know why they would bring anything from Chapter 2 Season 6 back. It was one of the most hated seasons. I know the Primal shotgun was very hated, so why even do that to yourself, But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Personally, I'm pretty happy with the shotgun balance. As of right now, the drum shotty is still annoying at times, but since the recent shotgun buff, I've been having so much fun with the Striker pump. Yeah, I'm not super thirsty for a new shotgun like I was in the past. Speaking of shotguns, the old pump could be returning. With that shotgun update I was talking about before, where they buffed the shotguns and they made the max damage cap. They also improved the consistency a lot with shotguns. But one of the things they implemented was the max damage cap. And for the normal pump, they made the max damage 185 for the gold spaz. Previously, it was 200 something, or just 200 maybe. But they implemented the max damage cap and put it on that pump and made it not do 200. And one of the things that made me not think the pump was going to return in Chapter 3 was just because it was hitting for 200. And it seemed like in Chapter 3, they made a very conscious decision to make it to where nothing was one hitting, none of the shotguns hit for 200, none of the snipers hit for 200. So it just kind of seemed like that was a design goal of theirs. But with them implementing the max damage cap to the pump and making it hit for less than 200, I wouldn't be surprised if this weapon returned. I don't think it's guaranteed. I feel like it's probably 60% likely it will not, but 40% that it might at this point. It's very strange because I feel like if you're not going to bring the normal pump back into the game, they might as well just leave it hitting 200 in creative, because that's what a lot of people like to play creative for, hitting clips in 1v1s or box fights, whatever. A lot of people have fun playing in creative and being able to hit 200 pumps. So taking it out of the game and changing creative for no reason just doesn't seem like that good of a play. It seems like it would just irritate the community, and I don't really know why they would change it unless they were going to bring the weapon back into the normal BR mode, but we'll have to see how that plays out. I know the normal pump is something that a lot of people have wanted back, but adding the max damage cap and making it hit for 185 completely kind of nullifies the point. A lot of people wanted it back because it could hit for 200. Personally, if it came down to it, I have been enjoying the striker pump a lot more since the buff, but I probably would use the normal pump if it was in the game, just because editing and like shooting after editing feels so much more like better to me with the normal pump than it does with the striker pump. Like something about the striker pump is still just odd with the way it fires. Like the fire rate just feels so inconsistent to me. If I like make an edit, pump somebody, reset the edit, and then make another edit, it seems like my striker pump is never ready to shoot, whereas like the normal pump, I never really had that problem. So yeah, the striker pump is still a little inconsistent on the fire rate, and that would make me use the normal pump if they were both in the game. The next weapon that has been leaked or rumored is going to be a new burst rifle. This is Hypex tweeted about this recently. It's a 5.5 fire rate, which is twice as fast as the scoped AUG. It has a 3-second reload time, that's whatever. It has 33 bullets in the mag, and it shoots 3 at once, twice as fast as the scoped AUG. So the scoped AUG shoots 2 bullets per burst, and even the burst assault rifle for most of Chapter 2 shot 2 bullets per burst. This is going to be another 3-shot burst assault rifle, and it has a very good fire rate. The damage isn't the best at 18 for the common, 27 to the head, 22 damage to the body for the legendary, and 33 headshot for the legendary per bullet. So that sounds weak, but when you consider it has a good fire rate and it's shooting 3 bullets per burst, if you hit all of your bursts to the head with the legendary, that would be 99 damage. So you would need like basically 2.5 bursts essentially, or 2 perfect bursts and like 2 more damage points, and you would get a kill on somebody. It seems like this could be very effective, and it can be tough to really understand what they mean by fire rate because they don't use actual RPM. Like their 5.5 fire rate is a made up statistic. Like it doesn't have tangible, like you can't really compare it to other weapons fire rates easily. But on screen now, I'm going to have the Mythic AUG from Chapter 2 Season 8, and this has a 4.2 fire rate, I believe, and you'll see how fast this is shooting. The new burst is going to shoot even faster than this, so that'll be crazy to see, and it seems like this weapon could be good. I expect it to be not scoped in. Like, I expect it to be a normal Fortnite assault rifle with bloom, like how the Ranger assault rifle is, like how the normal assault rifle is. We'll have to see, but just based on the stats, that's what I'm expecting, and it sounds very good in practice, but when you compare weapons with bloom to the first-person weapons, it gets weird, because the Ranger AR on stats is insane, but when you have to deal with bloom, it doesn't stack up to things like the AUG or the MK. I don't know a single person who enjoys using the Ranger. So while this weapon does sound really good, we'll have to see how it actually plays out in-game. The next thing that could be returning is going to be the smoke bombs. We have another tweet from Hypex here that they updated it. These were an item that you could throw, and then you would turn into a ghost for a few seconds. I'll have a clip on screen showing how they work now. You turn into a ghost for a few seconds. You would have faster movement and faster jumping, or like further jumping. It would be interesting to see how this plays out with sprint too, if you'd be able to sprint when using the smoke bomb. I think this could be a really good item for the game. You can take damage while you're in ghost form. So if you're shooting at someone and they turn into a ghost and you can see them still, it is hard to see them. But if you're able to, you'll still be able to do damage. But I think this would be really good for both the normal mode and the zero build mode. Zero build mode especially. If you're ever in a spot where somebody is holding you or they have you pinned down, there's nothing you can really do right now. Once somebody has first shot on you, it can be pretty hard to win that fight. But with the smoke bombs, you would be able to turn into a ghost and maybe rotate around, get out of that position, get up and down mountains, maybe easier with the better jump. I think this is the ghost item would be really good in the zero build mode. I think it would make it so much better. Another thing that has been updated is going to be the junk rift. The junk rift could be returning. They changed some of the items that it can drop. This was a very annoying item. I hated this item. If you were ever boxed up and someone threw this at you, you were just going to die, and it wasn't, there's nothing you can do. Whereas if you try to box up and heal normally, then it requires the other player to take your wall or do something to you, and then you can maybe outplay them. But with the junk rift, you're just dead like that. Could be good in the zero build mode though, because you'd be able to throw it and then it would drop something down that you could maybe use as cover, but I wouldn't really want it in the normal mode. Another thing that could be coming to the game is going to be the baller vehicle. This is something that we had in the past, and this was a very, very divisive item in the game. Could be coming to the game as a part of a Jurassic World collab because they've been working on it a bunch. A lot of people hated the ballers. Personally, I didn't mind them that much. There was times where they were really overpowered, but once they got nerfed to their like final state that they were in before they were removed, I thought they were pretty balanced because you could use it for mobility, but if someone tried to use it just to strictly run away, in a time where they shouldn't be, you could easily fry them out of it, no problem. And I typically don't mind vehicles like the Baller that only exist as mobility. I really dislike vehicles with weapons on them, like the tank or the battle bus, the planes, the mech. I don't like that stuff. But the Baller, it's only mobility. You couldn't really run people over with it. And if you just tried to use it to run away from somebody who had decent aim, they were going to fry you out of it. And then you were going to have to fight that person anyway. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Baller return. We could also see rideable animals as a part of this Jurassic World collab. That would be interesting. Don't know how that's going to play out. And then finally, we have a few more collabs that could be coming to the game. Obi-Wan Kenobi, supposed to be coming later this season, so Chapter 2, Season 2. Darth Vader again, likely a part of next season's Battle Pass. Indiana Jones, likely next season. Doomslayer, Family Guy, and Fall Guys. So all of these things could be coming to the game. And if Indiana Jones is also in next season's Battle Pass along with Darth Vader, I wouldn't be surprised if next season's Battle Pass is like entirely movie themed. Like how they had the Marvel Battle Pass in Chapter 2, Season 4. We might get like Darth Vader, Indiana Jones, and then a few other like iconic movie characters coming to next season's Battle Pass. That would be interesting to see, but I'm surprised if that's going to be the case, that they just released RoboCop into the item shop, because you would think he would kind of fit with that well. But we'll have to see how all that plays out next season. Let me know in the comments down below what aspect of next season's update you're most excited for. Personally, for me, it has to be the map changes and the new items. But I know a lot of you are going to be super excited for the event towards the end of this season. And obviously, Star Wars fans are going to be really, really ecstatic, I think, to see Darth Vader coming to the game. So let me know all that in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe. If you want to use me for support a creator, it's on screen. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.